We got some breaking news in the NFL. Former Giants Pro Bowl quarterback James Bradberry staying in the NFC East. He has agreed to a one-year deal worth a reported $10 million with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to pair up with Darius Slay. Now, the Giants cut Bradberry last week when they could not find a trade partner willing to take on his contract. Taking a look at the notable offseason moves, which now includes Bradberry, of course, trading for A.J. Brown, giving that 4-year, $100 million deal. Hassan Reddick coming over as well. Now, they did have some key departures, but you mix everything together, including the draft picks of Jordan Davis and Kobe Dean among them, is a big reason why Philly, the second betting favorite at Caesars Sportsbook, behind the Cowboys to win the division. All right, with more on the breaking news, we got senior NFL reporter Jonathan Jones joining us here. JJ, what more can you tell us, and what type of fit is this for both Bradberry and the Eagles?
Well, I think it's a great fit for James Bradberry and for the Eagles there and Jonathan Gannon's defense. Obviously, they have Darius Slay on one side, and they had been trying to figure out the other corner position for some time. And getting James Bradberry, listen, Howie Roseman was not going to be trading with with the New York Giants to secure James Bradberry's services. And so that was never going to happen. But the Eagles certainly had their eye on him when you consider that they did not address that corner position in the draft. And so the deal is worth up to $10 million reportedly. I think that the base value is going to come in a little bit less than that, probably in the $6-7 million range. And then we're going to see some incentives in there that would bump it up to $10 million. And so the Eagles very clearly loading up on defense, making sure that they are going to be a solid defense for Jalen Hurts. He will be the guy in 2022, but also making sure that they are an attractive team for a potential quarterback, free agent quarterback, veteran quarterback in 2023 if Jalen Hurts proves that he is not the guy going into his third season there. So I love the move for the Eagles. Howie Roseman did a great job in the draft, has done a great job so far in free agency, and this is yet another piece of evidence of that here, signing James Bradberry to the Philadelphia Eagles.
They had already had an active offseason, and now they add really a post-draft move, of course. I referenced the odds there. Again, the Cowboys minus 110 to lead the betting market there for the division at Caesars Sportsbook, but Philly's right there behind them. Is that where you also maybe have Philly pegged at the moment?
I usually wait for a little bit before I decide who's going to win a division. But, if you have those two neck and neck, I think that that's pretty fair. They are clearly the class of that division, with Washington very clearly taking a step back. And so I have the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles right there. It's going to be up to Jalen Hurts and how he's going to bounce back from that sort of embarrassing playoff loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where the Eagles were exposed. Now, listen, getting A.J. Brown is certainly going to help. They have a big physical wide receiver outside there to pair with Devontae Smith, and now they have Slay there. As we talked about earlier, they were able to re-sign Fletcher Cox, and they were able to get a draft day steal in Kobe Dean, who may be undersized, but the guy absolutely made plays for the national championship Georgia Bulldogs. So, again, I love what the Eagles are doing. I think that when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, a team that scored more points than any other team in the NFL, had more yards offensively than any other team in the NFL, do they have some gaps that they probably wanted to fill a little bit better this offseason? Sure. But I still think that they have the better quarterback. They have the better pass rusher in Micah Parsons. They may have the better coach in Mike McCarthy, if we're not talking about game management there. And so, but you want to talk about general managers, guys who are cleaning up. Howie Roseman is absolutely cleaning up this offseason.
Before I let you go, on the flip side, again, the Giants were hoping to find a trade partner for James Bradberry. Of course, that didn't happen there. What's the latest on that front in replacing his production? What's the plan there in New York as the Giants try to get back on the winning track?
Well, they just didn't really have very much cap space. The Giants over and over repeated publicly and privately that they love James Bradberry, the player, James Bradberry, the person, even though he dipped in production last season. It was just an issue with the salary cap that they were placed into from the Dave Gettleman era and those losing seasons there. So they'll continue to try to find some veterans who will come cheap because that's just the position that they're in right now there in New York.
Jonathan Jones with the very latest on the breaking news. JJ certainly appreciated it. So the Giants come in at the bottom of the betting board when it comes to the NFC East at 8-1. But again, referencing the Cowboys being the betting favorite for the moment. Eagles coming in at plus 215. The Commanders third at 5-1. Just a note there that we've highlighted and redlined for Dallas, which won the division last season. There has been no repeat in this division since the Eagles did so from 2001 to 4.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.